What's up, guys? Welcome to what will hopefully become the first of many uploaded video power rankings. Um, we got a couple surprise losses, a couple surprise duds, a couple surprise wins as well. Um, so we'll get right into it. No need to beat around the bush, as they say. We'll start obviously with number 10, and surprise, surprise, it is not our friend James. It is the man who was trying to mock James with his team name. The real Brady Bunch, Joe Kiss, uh, put up 84.1 points in his week one loss. His whole team is kind of hurt. You got McCoy, Mike Evans, Alshon, Foster, obviously, a bunch of them banged up. But also, I mean, you played Mike Evans. You're playing guys that aren't playing, so it's never the best way to win. Um, Obviously, Brady looked awesome, but I think we kind of all expected that against a shit defense week one after all that shit was going on. But yeah, Brady went off. And, you're getting 27 points from a QB and you only put up 84. So really, no one else was in double digits other than the Rams defense. So not much going on for Joe Kiss. Not a great team. Um, so we'll see. But yeah, all position players in single digits. Not a great start. Um, Number 9, I gotta put James here. Um, it was a great, great week one victory. Maybe giving the fans some hope, but at the end of the day, just not. I mean, you got 22 from Eifert, 22 from the defense. So, that's a lot of points from two positions that you don't expect that many points from. But he'll take it, obviously. Uh, Sammy Watkins put up a 0. That was really interesting. Not great to see if you're James. Um, Keenan Allen though looked pretty great. That was surprising for me at least. Um, Golden Tate didn't do much, but Bradford's gonna get points in that offense even though he sucks. Um, but yeah, Eifert and Panthers D really showed up for him there. Sammy Watkins, I don't know what that was about, but obviously he'll need a little bit from Sammy Watkins if he wants to be a real contender. Number 8 is the man that he beat. By the way, James scored 107 points, which I thought was pretty impressive. But number 8 is the guy he beat. Dan put up 96.2. What do we got to say about Dan's team? You got Forsett, Stewart, and Alfred Blue putting up 18.6 points. When 3 running backs are giving you 18 points combined, not great. I feel like what we're seeing with Dan's team right now is Antonio Brown is kind of like the Knicks when Melo would go out and drop 40 and they would just lose because that's all they had. Antonio Brown is fighting his ass off and no one's helping out. But it was very nice to see Jimmy Graham staying involved. He had 6 catches, 51 yards, and a TD. So that was good to see in the new offense. I don't think anyone's really that concerned about it, but obviously his, they don't pass as much, clearly. So good to see. Number 7 is our big surprise. Josh is in the 7 spot. Just a brutal start for Josh. Obviously, we'll start off with the Des Bryant injury. First they say 4 to 6, then you see your 6 to 10. I don't think anyone really knows, but not good for Des, obviously. Also, what might just as big is Peyton Manning. I mean, I might eat my words at some point this season knowing Peyton, but he looked fucking terrible. He looked done. I feel like he couldn't reach. He can't throw a ball 15 yards at this point, like a nice 15-yard pass. He looked terrible. I can't believe how bad he looked. So that's not good for Josh, obviously. Uphill battle this week. I'll have to play without Le'Veon, Dez, or Peyton. Those are the 3 players that, they're the reason that I put him so high in the preseason power rankings. But if Peyton looks like that and Dez is out, fuck it. Josh's team sucks then. As of now, he's starting Carson Palmer, Isaiah Crowell, Marcus Wheaton, Kendall Wright. That's not a good team. Also, I don't know if you had Josh Scobie, but he's got Josh Scobie, the worst kicker in the league. So just an overall shit week for Josh. We'll see if he could turn it around. Who knows? Number 6, I put Officer Farva, Mr. Ryan Van Buren. By the way, Josh had the fewest points in the league with, what, 75.7, so not a great start for Josh. In the 6th spot, like I said, VB. So VB, as we know, as we kind of expected with all of his draft picks, has the most depth in the league. He's going to have to play his matchups right with Romo and Rivers, but they both killed it. Charles is Charles. Ivory looked good. Hopefully they give him the ball. I mean, every time that guy gets the ball, he's good. So hopefully, they keep giving him the ball. Hopefully the TY injury isn't terrible, but it's never good to see him get hurt, especially when you fucking give up Dez for him. But whatever. Again, Emmanuel Sanders is here. When you watch Peyton, you got to be worried. Any Bronco right now, you should be a little concerned if you're on a Bronco because Peyton looked fucking terrible. What else? Yeah, I mean the QB's killed it. He's got a deep team. He's gonna have to play the right guys. So it's interesting team to watch. Also, Greg Olsen for some reason at 1 catch. I'm not really sure what that was about. But good start. VB 113.9 points. Solid start. In the 5 spot, we got Andrew. Andrew's team is a very, very interesting team for a few reasons. So the problem I have with Andrew's team is that Fitz and Vincent Jackson are kind of going to give you like 15 combined maybe each week. I think you take that. So his big 4 have to show up, and Calvin and AP, Jesus. AP, that was such a disappointing return. And then Calvin, I'm not really sure what happened with Calvin, but he had, what's it called? Calvin had 3.9 points, so I don't really know what the fuck to say about that. Marshawn Lynch, I mean, his big 4 didn't really do much. Andrew Luck had a shit ton of garbage points, but, points nonetheless. And a goose egg from the kicker. Not that you expect much from the kicker, but to get 0 from the kicker is never good. But I'd be a little concerned if I was Andrew's team. Like I said, Fitz and VJax every week's tough. Calvin and AP got to show you more. So we'll see where they end up. In the 4 spot was, I think, the biggest disappointment of week 1. The 40-year-old virgin, Tom, put up 83 points. Matt Forte actually looked like a running back for the first time in 3 years, actually getting points on the ground. So that was good to see, but AJ had like 3 drops. Randall Cobb, I know he's a little banged up. Only 38 yards. He did score, though. Frank Gore did nothing, but they were also getting blown out early. It's tough to really read Tom's team week 1. But again, back to the Broncos. Demarius is a beast, obviously. But Peyton sucks. So, as a result, everyone on the team is going to be a little worse off. But, you hope at some point the talent's got to take over on this team. Cobb, AJ, Demarius, neither of them in double digits. That might be the only time that happens all year, that the 3 of them are under 10 points. So, not a good start, obviously. But I mean, the talent's there. Also, the QB battle on this team is very interesting between Matt Ryan and Ben. No one really took it week 1. We'll see going forward. And to the top 3. Number 3 is Kevin, actually. Kevin obviously has Gronk, so that's huge. 27 points from a tight end. But you know what? That's kind of what he is. He's a huge advantage. Every week he's a huge advantage. The one thing I was thinking about while looking at Kevin's team, the QB position is going to be a weakness, and you gotta think if he knew that Brady's suspension wasn't getting overturned, if he had Brady, that'd be a much more dangerous team. But still good nonetheless. Didn't get much from any of the receivers, and still put up 95. But yeah, 2 from Andre Johnson, 5 from Cooks, 5 from Devontae Adams. You gotta think you'd get more from all those. Andre Johnson, very disappointing week. I actually haven't really looked at his numbers, but 4 catches for 24 yards. Not a great debut, especially when they were throwing so much in the second half. So a lot of work to do over there, but good start. Now the top 2. Number 2, I'm very happy to put this kid at number 2 because I've been a believer in his team, all off season pretty much. I really like this team. I had him pretty low pre-draft, but like I said, he had I didn't say it because that video didn't get uploaded. But with Hopkins and Macklin, I think he really made 2 really good picks to start. Got himself a nice solid team, and they came through. Carlos Hyde, my goodness. I mean, if you watch that game, he fucking killed it. He was tough to bring down. He was one cut gone. He looked explosive. He was involved everywhere, so that was really good to see. Love Carlos Hyde. And DeAndre Hopkins killed it. I think everyone knows he's got the talent, but it was just the QB situation. But if he's gonna get all those targets, fuck it. Who cares? He's talented enough that you give him 13 targets, he'll make some plays. So good to see them going. Jason Witten, that fucking guy just always kills the Giants. He scored 18 points. I'm not buying that going forward. But, fuck him. Russell Wilson, solid. Everyone played pretty well. C.J. Anderson got a little banged up, and then Ronnie Hillman came in and looked pretty damn good. So, C.J. Anderson moving forward is going to be an interesting player to watch. And that pretty much sums up Hypebeast. He led the league in points with 137.3. And number 1 is myself, obviously. The funny thing I'll say about my team is that I scored 122.7 points, and I wouldn't say anyone did anything out of the ordinary. Other than Kelsey, obviously. Kelsey put up 22.6. That was pretty cool. But, Odell put up 4.4. So if you kind of average those out, no one on my team did anything that I didn't really expect them to. Rodgers 23, Lacy 16, Jordan Matthews 11, Julio 26. Everyone kind of did what you'd kind of expect them to, which I think is pretty dangerous, pretty scary for everyone. Again, that running back 2 spot is going to be it's going to be a spot to watch for me. But if I can get anything from that position, books. But yeah, so there you go. There's the week 1 power rankings. Talk shit in the group chat, whatever the fuck you want to say. I think they're pretty solid based on week 1. James, you're going to have to win a couple more games to keep moving up. I believe the hype. I texted Shreve that this morning. I'm all in on Hypebeast. But I still think my talent takes over, especially when you got Julio Jones. What a fucking beast that guy is. My goodness. We'll end on that. Julio, taking me to the ship. I'll catch you guys next week.